Come back, Shane. Those three words, cried by a boy to a vanishing gunslinger, have echoed through cinema history for over 70 years. Welcome to a heartfelt deep dive into Shane, George Stevens' 1953 masterpiece, often called the greatest Western ever made. Filmed amid the breathtaking Grand Tetons in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, this is the story of a mysterious stranger in buckskin who rides into a quiet valley, helps a family of homesteaders stand against a ruthless cattle baron, and leaves a legend behind. Shane is more than action. It's a poetic elegy for the dying frontier, exploring violence's cost, heroism's loneliness, and innocence lost. With its stunning Technicolor cinematography, Oscar winner, deliberate packing, and unforgettable characters, it earned 6 Academy Award nominations, including Best Picture. It's influenced everything from Star Wars to Logan and remains a touchstone for what the Western can be, mythic yet human. Today, in this long tribute, we'll explore the main credited cast members, their names, ages during that magical 1952 summer shoot, roles, awards, careers, personal stories, and behind-the-scenes gems. At the end, a special tribute to the uncredited players who filled this world with life. Let's ride in with the man who made Shane a name to remember, Alan Ladd as Shane. Alan Ladd, born Alan Walbridge Ladd on September 3, 1913, in Hot Springs, Arkansas, and passing January 29, 1964, at age 50, was 38 to 39 years old during principal photography in summer 1952, though the film released in 1953. At 56, Ladd's slight stature was cleverly hidden with tricks like trenches and lifts, making his quiet intensity all the more powerful. In Shane, Ladd plays the titular mysterious stranger, a weary gunfighter trying to escape his past, hired as a farmhand by the Starretts, drawn into defending them against Riker's men. Shane is laconic, moral, deadly when needed, a mythic hero who knows violence's brand sticks forever. This is widely considered Ladd's finest performance, the role he was born for. Fun fact, Ladd disliked guns and needed 116 takes for Joey's shooting lesson. Director Stevens used low angles to make him tower. Ladd rose from poverty, his father died young, mother suicide, to stardom in This Gun for Hire, 1942 with Veronica Lake, becoming Paramount's top star. Hits include The Glass Key, 1942, The Blue Dahlia, 1946. No Oscar noms, but photoplay gold medal for Shane and Hollywood Walk of Fame star. Produced via Jaguar, father of actors Alan Jr., Alana David, struggled with depression and alcohol, death ruled accidental overdose. Shane immortalized his soft-spoken heroism. Jean Arthur as Marian Starrett. Jean Arthur, born Gladys Georgina Green on October 17, 1900, in Plattsburgh, New York, and passing June 19, 1991, at age 90, was 51 to 52 years old, coming out of semi-retirement for her final film and only color role. Her husky voice and natural warmth made her perfect for strong yet vulnerable women. In Shane, Arthur plays Marian Starrett, devoted wife to Joe, mother to Joey, drawn to Shane's mystery while upholding family values. Her quiet strength anchors the film, opposing guns yet understanding their necessity. Stevens lured her back as a favor. She clashed with him but delivered magic. Fun fact, 52 playing younger, Arthur was older than Heflin, 42, and Ladd, 39. Her retirement after stemmed from perfectionism and stage fright. Arthur's career began in silence, exploding with Frank Capra. Mr. Deeds Goes to Town, 1936. You Can't Take It With You, 1938. Oscar nom Best Actress for The More the Merrier, 1943. Iconic Screwball Queen. 1 Oscar nom, AFI Top Female Stars. Married twice, no children, reclusive, later taught drama. Marian Starrett was her poignant swan song, a woman of grace in a rough world. Van Heflin as Joe Starrett. Van Heflin, born Emmett Evan Heflin Jr., on December 13, 1908, in Walters, Oklahoma, and passing July 23, 1971, at age 62, was 43 years old, a solid character laid with Oklahoma roots. In Shane, Heflin plays Joe Starrett, hardworking homesteader leader, husband, father standing firm against Riker without Shane's gun skills. His integrity inspires Shane. Fun fact, Heflin's natural athleticism shone in the epic bar brawl. He bonded with Ladd off-screen. Heflin won Best Supporting Actor Oscar for Johnny Eager, 1942. Hits include The Strange Love of Martha Ivers, 1946, 3:10 to Yuma, 1957. Stage-trained, WWII service, married twice with 3 children. Joe Starrett is his definitive good man role. Brandon deWilde as Joey Starrett. Brandon deWilde, born Andre Brandon deWilde on April 9, 1942, in Brooklyn, and passing July 6, 1972, at age 30 in car accident, was 10 years old, a child prodigy. In Shane, deWilde plays Joey Starrett, innocent boy idolizing Shane, narrating through awe. His Shane, Come Back, is iconic, Oscar nom Best Supporting Actor, youngest in category then. Fun fact, deWilde's natural performance came from Stevens' encouraging play on set. deWilde debuted Broadway at 7 in The Member of the Wedding, repeating on film, Golden Globe New Star, HUD 1963, tragic early death, Joey made him eternal child star. Jack Palance as Jack Wilson. Jack Palance, born Volodymyr Palahniuk on February 18, 1919, in Latimer Mines, Pennsylvania, and passing November 10, 2006 at age 87, was 34 years old, early villain breakthrough. In Shane, Palance plays Jack Wilson, chilling hired gun, killing Tori in Mud, Oscar nom Best Supporting Actor. Fun fact, Palance's menacing minimalism, few lines, terrified, one-armed push-ups at 1992 Oscar win for City Slickers referenced Shane toughness. Palance WWAI bomber pilot, boxer, noms for Sudden Fear 1952, won Oscar City Slickers 1991. Shane launched his iconic heavies. Ben Johnson as Chris Callaway. Ben Johnson, born Benjamin Johnson Jr., on June 13, 1918, in Fouracre, Oklahoma, and passing April 8, 1996, at age 77, was 34 years old during filming, a real cowboy whose authenticity brought unmatched realism to the screen. In Shane, Johnson plays Chris Callaway, one of Rufus Riker's ranch hands who initially bullies Shane in the saloon but later switches sides after witnessing Wilson's cold-blooded killing of Tori. His redemption arc adds moral depth to the rancher's side. Fun fact, Johnson was a world champion team roper and stuntman. He did his own riding and fighting, and his natural Oklahoma drawl needed no coaching. Johnson grew up on a ranch, winning the 1953 World Champion Steer Roping title before Hollywood. John Ford discovered him wrangling on Red River 1948, leading to Ford Stock Company roles in She Wore a Yellow Ribbon 1949, Wagon Master 1950, Rio Grande 1950. He won Best Supporting Actor Oscar for The Last Picture Show 1971 as Sam the Lion. Later hits include The Wild Bunch 1969, Junior Bonner 1972, turned down Peckinpah Films for Language but returned for Bite the Bullet 1975. Married to Carol Jones for 54 years with no children, Johnson was inducted into the Rodeo Hall of Fame. Chris Callaway showcases his quiet strength, a real cowboy playing a cowboy who finds conscience. Edgar Buchanan as Fred Lewis. Edgar Buchanan, born March 20, 1903, in Humansville, Missouri, and passing April 4, 1979, at age 76, was 49 years old, a dentist-turned-beloved character actor. In Shane, Buchanan plays Fred Lewis, a nervous but loyal homesteader standing with Joe Starrett against Riker's intimidation. His folksy warmth represents the settler's determination. Fun fact, Buchanan's dental background made him meticulous. He bonded with the cast over card games on location. Buchanan left dentistry for theater, debuting in films 1939, over 100 credits, often grizzled sidekicks. Iconic as Uncle Joe Carson on Petticoat Junction, 1963-1970, and spin-offs. Oscar nom shared for Penny Serenade 1941 ensemble. Married to Mildred Spence for 52 years with one son. Fred Lewis fits his everyman specialty, ordinary folks with heart. Emil Mayer as Rufus Riker. Emil Mayer, born August 18, 1910, in New Orleans, and passing March 19, 1987, at age 76, was 42 years old, a burly actor specializing in authority figures. In Shane, Mayer plays Rufus Riker, the bullying cattle baron claiming open range, hiring Wilson to drive out homesteaders. His bluster masks desperation for the old ways. Fun fact, Mayer improvised some threats, adding menace Stevens kept. Mayer served WWAI, debuting late in films. Roles in Panic in the Streets 1950, Sweet Smell of Success 1957 as Cop, Paths of Glory 1957. No major awards but reliable heavy, married with children. Riker is his definitive villain, a man clinging to dying power. Elisha Cook Jr. as Stonewall Tori. Elisha Cook Jr., born December 26, 1903 in San Francisco, and passing May 18, 1995 at age 91, was 48 years old, the ultimate nervous little guy. In Shane, Cook plays Stonewall Tori, hot-headed southern homesteader killed by Wilson in Mud, sparking escalation. His death is pivotal. Fun fact, Cook's small stature, 55, made the fight brutal. He did many takes in real mud. Cook began vaudeville films 1930, iconic as Wilmer in The Maltese Falcon 1941, Harry Jones in The Big Sleep 1946. No Oscars but cult favorite, married twice. Tori is his tragic everyman. Douglas Spencer as Axel Swede, Shipstead. Douglas Spencer, born February 25, 1910, in Princeton, Illinois, and passing October 6, 1960, at age 50, was 42 years old. In Shane, Spencer plays Axel Swede Schibsted, Swedish homesteader standing with Starrett. Fun fact, his accent was authentic from heritage. Spencer in The Thing from Another World, 1951, as Ned Scott, died young of heart attack. Swede adds quiet solidarity. John Diex as Morgan Riker. John Diex, born February 10, 1905, in Cincinnati, and passing January 8, 1975, at age 69, was 47 years old, tall 66, actor for imposing roles. In Shane, Diex plays Morgan Riker, Rufus' brother, backing intimidation. Fun fact, his height made him loom over Ladd. Diex in Macbeth, 1948, The Hanging Tree, 1959, WWII service, Morgan adds physical threat. Ellen Corby as Mrs. Liz Torrey. Ellen Corby, born June 3, 1911, in Racine, Wisconsin, and passing April 14, 1999, at age 87, was 41 years old. In Shane, Corby plays Mrs. Liz Torrey, Stonewall's wife, mourning his death. Fun fact, her silent grief influenced Stephen's style. Corby Emmy for The Waltons, 1970, 31978 as Grandma. Oscar nom I Remember Mama, 1948. Stroke in 1977. Mrs. Torrey shows her emotional depth. Paul McVeigh as Sam Grafton. Paul McVeigh, born March 17, 1898, in Indianapolis, and passing April 1, 1973, at age 75, was 54 years old. In Shane, McVeigh plays Sam Grafton, store owner. Fun fact, his scenes ground the town life. McVeigh in over 200 films TV, often authority. Sam adds community texture. John Miller as Will Atke, bartender. John Miller, birth-death details scarce, age, veteran character actor. In Shane, Miller plays Will Atke, bartender witnessing brawl. Fun fact, his reactions heighten tension. Miller in many westerns, Will Atke is typical saloon keeper. Edith Evanson as Mrs. Schibsted. Edith Evanson, born April 29, 1896, in Tacoma, Washington, and passing November 29, 1980, at age 84, was 56 years old. In Shane, Evanson plays Mrs. Schibsted, Swede's wife. Fun fact, her warmth supports settler family. Evanson in Rope, 1948, The Day the Earth Stood Still, 1951. Mrs. Schibsted adds quiet strength. Leonard Strong as Ernie Wright. Leonard Strong, born August 12, 1908, in Salt Lake City, and passing January 23, 1980, at age 71, was 44 years old. In Shane, Strong plays Ernie Wright, homesteader. Fun fact, his brief role shows community unity. Strong in Blood Alley, 1955, Ernie adds diversity. Ray Spiker as Axel Johnson. Ray Spiker was born on 6 January 1902 in Wisconsin, USA. He died on February 23, 1964 in Hollywood, California, USA. He was a stuntman actor. In Shane, Spiker plays Axel Johnson, homesteader. Fun fact, doubled in fights. Spiker in many westerns, Axel contributes settler grit. Janice Carroll as Susan Lewis. Janice Carroll, born on 19 February 1932 in Hollywood, California, USA. She was an actress, known for Shane, 1953, How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying, 1967, and Simon & Simon, 1981. She died on 10 September 1993 in San Fernando Valley, California, USA. Martin Mason as Ede Howells. Martin Mason, details scarce, age. In Shane, Mason plays Ede Howells, homesteader. Fun fact, part of group scenes. Mason in supporting westerns, Ede adds numbers to fight. Helen Brown as Martha Lewis. Helen Brown, born December 24, 1915, and passing July 26, 1994, at age 78, was 36 years old. In Shane, Brown plays Martha Lewis, homesteader wife. Fun fact, her warmth supports community. Brown in many films TV, Martha represents settler women. Nancy Culp as Mrs. Howells. Nancy Culp, born August 28, 1921, in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, and passing February 3, 1991, at age 69, was 31 years old, early role before fame. In Shane, Culp plays Mrs. Howells, homesteader wife. Fun fact, unrecognizable before Hillbillies. Cult iconic as Jane Hathaway on the Beverly Hillbillies, 1962 and 971, Emmy nom. Served WWAI Waves, later politics. Mrs. Howells was her film start. A special tribute to the uncredited who brought the Valley alive. Ewing Miles Brown, Bill Cartledge, Chick Hannon and others as Riker men. Homesteaders like William Dyer Jr., Boys Butch Freeman, David Ladd Allen's son as Little Boy, Alana Ladd Little Girl, Clark Charles Quirk, and many extras in fights and town scenes. Your sweat in real Wyoming mud made Shane breathe, thank you. As Shane vanishes into legend, leaving Joey's plea behind, we feel the ache of a hero who can't stay. Shane endures because this cast, from Ladd's mythic quiet to the smallest settler, captured something eternal, the cost of doing right in a changing world. Thank you for this journey. Share your Shane memories below, like, subscribe, come back for more classics.